so many people were passionate about it that you and I coming in hot, there needs to be some level headedness. And if it's our podcast into the world,
If our podcast is what's providing the level-headed fucking perspective, we have a very serious problem.
Have you ever been victimized by new age spirituality?
we've been we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairanoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference. Well,
welcome to Trump's America. God damn it.
This is America. I don't know about you, but I spent that whole day just about I had 50% of the people I was consoling. And then, I do live in South Carolina. Charleston did get vote blue, but and then I, was trying to understand reasoning from another 50%. So it was a very interesting day. I definitely enjoyed your voice message.
Was I shit-faced?
You were hammered.
Oh, God, dude. I'm sure I was. Oh,
you
fuck.
were like, listen.
Oh, I know I was. I remember now what I was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I know I didn't even plan on it, too. We left our friend's place. Listeners, I was with my friend, one of my friends, on the election night, and we had like a little mini get together at one of our friends' apartments, and then it was pretty like obvious. It wasn't called, but it was like kind of like, God, this is not going our way. And we ended up leaving, and the plan literally was to go home. And then he was like, "You want to stop at this bar and get a drink?" And so we stopped and got a drink, and oh, we got hammered. I totally forgot. I left you a voicemail, didn't I? No?
Like 2 minutes.
Oh, that's short for me. That is short. Long gone are my days of 30-minute voice memos. Shit. Anyway.
Oh, when I used to get a 5-minute one, I was like, ooh, something has happened.
I know. I mean, like, I never send them anymore, actually, now that I think about it.
I do. And if people are like, I don't like them, I'm like, well, then we will not be talking. Because I don't have time to text, but when I do have time, by the time I verbally tell you in my voice notes, I'm too much of a grammar police. What about the tenses? It's just too much. Let me just blah, 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 blah. I love voice notes.
No, it's true. I do too. And it's like, it is incredibly convenient to be able to just send them like when you literally have the spare couple minutes, like when I'm walking to 7-Eleven and getting like coffee or gallons of water.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll like, I'm sure move into like election stuff, but Megan and I haven't talked in a couple of weeks, so we're also kind of catching up, but like not like a boring catch up, you guys. Like actually, like I don't actually have many freaking updates, but like, well, I do have like one kind of thing. I'll explain that in a little bit. But Megan has moved. You've moved.
Yes.
You've had a lot going on. What's up with the move? How do you feel? Moving is the most stressful thing. Well, one of them that a person can go through. How are you feeling?
It was, everything was like, so we moved and we had these movers and they only moved half of our furniture. Like they loaded into the trailer and then they drove away. And so then it was up to Josh and I with his, like he's still recovering from hips, when he crashed into a tree snowboarding last year. So, so that was fun. And it is so wild how you can accumulate so much shit. And I have already purged, like about 10 years ago, we purged everything. I mean, we moved into an RV. So like everything had to go. And that was a wonderful experience because you realize that what little you actually need to like survive and be happy. And I was like, where is all of this stuff? Because we downsized tremendously. And it's just, there's shit everywhere. I'm like, like, what is all this? Then, because I wasn't planning on moving, I had already set my retreat dates. So I am in my place officially on that Sunday. And then I have my retreat on Friday. So Mary Dell and I get there Thursday. This is the first time I've been scammed on Airbnb.
Mm.
It was a complete gross misrepresentation. I mean, there were certain cool parts, but it was like at any moment, this place could just like fall down. That's what it felt like. It was huge. It slept 20 people. But I think the guy he forgot that we were coming. Nothing worked. Like doors wouldn't close. It was filthy. And so that was interesting. Emotions were definitely high at this retreat.
I know. Yeah. You had a retreat and moving, like all going on all at once.
Oh, and then my mom came into town on Sunday, and then now we're rolling into holiday season. I just want to take a nap.
Just remember, you are the narrator of your own story. You are the main character. You drive that plot.
You better believe it.
How you frame it is up to you. The rest is still unwritten. Yeah.
I just know the beat. If you could even say that was a beat. It is fun. One of my neighbors gets her guts scrambled every night at 11 p.m. So good on you, girl. I mean,
Oh, wow.
and it is performative. I mean, listen, I don't know who the gentleman is. I've only seen her, but I know a performance when I hear one. And then my other neighbor, he throws down. I think he's a closet gay. I'm not sure. But at 5
It is
p.m.
South Carolina.
That's exactly. And at 5 p.m. sharp, the YMCA comes on, boy. I mean, like older fella. I mean, like without fail.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. Young man.
Okay, yeah, he's either a closet gay or like a real big gay, but he's just like not yeah, maybe he's a real big gay at home, but like a closet gay in public maybe. Or it's also a fucking dudes who love Trump thing. They don't understand that that is a gay anthem. And remember, Trump stood on stage for like 45 minutes just dancing, and YMCA was one of the songs, and he just looks like a freaking fool, like dancing to a queer anthem. So all these like straight dudes for Trump don't know this either, and they're like literally driving around in their trucks, like blasting YMCA, like for fun in like grocery store parking lots and shit. So maybe that's it too. Maybe he's just a total Trumper.
It could be a Trumper. Yeah. So definitely an interesting vibe. I mean, how do you feel?
Exhausted. So tired. So much going on, like all the time. Truly, it's like been like impossible to feel like I can like take a breath. Slash, when I can breathe, I'm like obviously trying to just like maintain a social life, which has been oddly busy lately because there have been like a few birthdays and like I got another one coming up. I got a friend visiting town tonight.
Oh,
I haven't seen in forever, and like I'm so excited that she's coming here, but I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time. I don't have time. Um, I'm fine. Yeah, just exhausted. My like only like one bit of news that's like outside the norm. It's not even that outside of the norm, but just like announcement, everybody. Bismos 2025 calendar is available for purchase. Uh, check the show notes. Click the link in the show notes. We have this whole like member portal that we've started building out. We're kind of like moving back from that, sticking with the calendar for now. Plus like really good email communications. I got like some like really great articles I've been working on that'll be on the website. Some for members only, some for like anybody. But the calendar itself is fucking loaded. We need to like count how many things I put on this calendar, but it's like if you had the 2024 Bismos calendar, oh my God, the 2025 one is just like so much heftier. There's so much in it. I wrote so much more. Like it took me an insane amount of time to put together that calendar. So everybody get it. Please support this business that I'm so passionate about. I'm working so hard on. Sorry, I have to do some self promo. I never really freaking do that.
Don't apologize for promoting yourself.
Thank you.
I literally had another conversation with my chef for my retreats, Alyssa Waters of Sublime Kitchens of Charleston. But I was
I
like,
like that name.
yeah, oh my God,
Why do I
she's
like
incredible.
Alyssa Waters?
Yeah, she's cool. She's a cool chick. She's a she's one of those people that she's like really coming into herself right now. So she's got this calm confidence, and her
Mm.
food is incredible. But anyway, we just had a session, and I was like, blast these motherfuckers up. Text everybody you know, 'cause she's about to do a cinnamon roll drop. I swear to God, like her food, it's offensive to call it food. Like it needs some sort of exquisite name. Like she made a turkey sandwich, and I was like, I can't call this a turkey sandwich.
It's a poultry experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
poultry experience. So it was I managed to not be able to get into politics this past weekend, which I was really proud of because I knew I had some people because I had a split. I think I had some split people there. And so and I didn't my whole thing was coming back to unity, and just trying to be present. It's not that I'm not, it's so interesting because we've talked about this political season before, I've just been observing, through all these lenses. And I'm curious about your opinion about what is happening, what is going to happen. Have you been hearing about these I want to call them conspiracy theories about the election fraud? Did Elon interfere? I don't,
Um,
what is happening?
I don't know how anything he's doing being so intertwined with this election. I don't know how any of that is legal. I'm not an expert. Neither of us are. You've heard our podcast intro before. We're just going to be like waxing poetic on our fucking is that even the right phrase? I don't know. We're just discussing our thoughts, okay? So don't get mad at us if we're
Mhm.
factually incorrect in some of this. Neither of us are fucking political strategists here, but I am a political junkie. Um, Elon is nuts. Like, I mean, the whole thing is nuts. The amount of money he's donated is fucking nuts. Like, the way he has like taken over Twitter and just like is very much promoting all right-wing conspiracy nonsense and misinformation and disinformation is insane. Like, I saw some guy who, as like a test, started a bunch of new Twitter accounts from a bunch of different devices and whatever, and like all of them just got like when you start, it's like suggesting accounts and it'll just populate your feed, with just like random tweets or whatever. And it's just like Elon and Donald Trump are like the first suggested accounts, like no matter what. It's like a right-wing fucking platform now, basically. It's like that's annoying because it's like, okay, you're literally like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. I don't know though. But then I think the Starlink thing is what's weird, like his internet service thing and like different states. I don't know how it was intertwined, but there were different states that used Starlink, his internet service, to like work the election. So it's like, that
Were they
feels like a
swing
conflict
states?
of fucking interest here. I don't
Yeah.
know, to be honest. I have no idea. And then those bomb threats that were happening were so weird. The fact that they were like way early, like Trump, and then domino effect everybody else on that side were like saying like election fraud is like already happening, like stop, like the law enforcement must get out there right now, this is crazy. Like they were like complaining so much, like when the lines were super long, and there was like a lot of momentum honestly for Kamala, like there it really whatever, it really seemed like it was going her way from like the vibes of things. And then all of a sudden when it flipped into his domain basically, and it was like, oh shit, like he's actually maybe going to take this, all of a sudden the fraud claims just stop. Like, no,
Yeah.
now it's fine. It just got fixed. Like, what do
Well,
you,
have you
he
heard
just
what
is like insane.
AOC has been saying? Because she was like, just wait. And so now it was interesting because it's like these election result deniers, we had the Republican Party claiming, and now it's seeming that the Democratic Party is going to be, but obviously with less violent. Well, I can't say that, but hopefully not what happened January 6th.
Mm-mm.
But
That
it's
won't happen.
very, it's very coded. Yeah, I mean, it's very coded about, what's going on. And so she's been making I just saw it on TikTok, some Instagrams, and it's like, all right, well, what does this mean? Um, I will say that in talking with people who voted for Trump, I sure hope you're right. That's, like, because I sure hope that Project 2025 isn't a real. I sure hope that the faith that you have in this individual and this party is correct. Because also these when people tell you who they are, believe them. And so when
Mhm.
somebody says that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and so you're a good person. When you're a good person, you're going to perceive the world to be good. And you see all this discourse. I am living right or like I love a lot of people who are MAGA supporters. They're not racist. They're not, but did they vote for a party who said, yeah, misogyny and science and we don't need it? You co-signed on that.
Yeah.
And that's your business. I'm not going to not be your friend. I'm not going to not love you. But I would be like, I'm not as devastated as I was in 2016 because when you're in a red state, you see when you talk to people, when you're in a blue bubble, I think or when you're only talking to people who think like you, I think that's what really surprised a lot of Democrats. I was not surprised he won. I was hoping,
I was surprised. I was
you were.
surprised. I mean, like, I knew that there was always the chance, and that I mean, like, the whole time, he always had an uncomfortable amount of support. Like, I literally was like, really? There's still that many fucking people that are like doing this? But, like, especially as it got closer to the election, like, his rallies were like dead. Kamala was like filling massive stadiums and shit. Like, polls kind of like started to lean back toward Trump, but then like right before the election, they went back to Kamala. Like, there's so much that I thought was in her favor. It just like, dude, I don't know. I think I'm really struggling with this. Like, I'm kind of annoyed we didn't do an election debrief closer to when the results came out, but at the same time, I'm happy we didn't, because I've like processed more, digested
Hmm.
more information about it. I'm just not as like passionate about it. I think now I'm like more head scratchy about things.
So many people were passionate about it that you and I coming in hot, there needs to be some level headedness. And if it's our podcast into the world,
If our podcast is what's providing the level-headed fucking perspective, we have a very serious problem. Like,
well,
no, I mean, I know that's kind of our thing, but when it comes to like some of this shit, it's like we have some forceful opinions, dude. I'm like, I think like my initial kind of takeaway quickly after the election was there is no one fucking reason why this happened the way it did, why so many people basically went against the Democratic Party and voted for Trump, why so many Democrats just didn't vote. Like, I think that there were so many reasons that led to this outcome, and I was really pissed when it happened because so many people kept like just loud mouthing on social media and on TV and whatever with like, here's the reason why, And it was like so
yeah.
apparent that there was not this one fucking reason. There were lots of fucking reasons why this happened, which makes it difficult because we can't do a quick, easy fix. We could if there was one, two, three things, but it's not just one thing. And now that more time has gone on, it's like that's still very fucking true. And we're still like trying to figure out what has happened and like how do we prioritize maybe the many reasons why this happened. But I think more than that, I'm like, no matter what we say, no matter what anybody says, you're gonna be pissing off a lot of people. And like, obviously, America was already fractured, but it is so fractured, like within each party, outside of that fucking dual party system as well. There's just fracturing. Like, the Democratic Party is like, oh my God, a disaster right now. Like, it's kind of fucking
The
nuts.
parties are
It's
not
like
like
kind of
they're
not even.
crazy.
They're
I mean, look at
crazy.
how everybody is. Like, I mean, the left is that is a shit show. The far, far left, the far, far right. It's like, what are you talking about? Like,
I
what are you
know. Well,
talking about?
but even like to your point, it's like MAGA voters, MAGA supporters or
Hmm.
whatever that aren't bad people, right? Or quote unquote aren't
Yeah.
racist people. I have like a very progressive view on that where I'm like, they are racist because they put like
It didn't matter to
some
them. That's
stu
the thing,
it
is
didn't,
that like
which is racist. Like
it was
it wasn't
it
their
was the
deciding factor
economy.
for a vote, right?
Everybody said it, who wasn't like who voted for him, because I was like, let me like really like I'm gonna approach this from a non-emotional viewpoint and a curiosity. And it was the economy. And then when I asked them, I realized that a lot of people could benefit from a basic high school economics class because that information did not sink in. Nope.
Hmm.
And so it was, and I just listened. I wasn't there because me telling you X, Y, and Z,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. So I was just at this point trying to garner information and just be and listen. And boy, did I get some information.
Dude, I mean, there's so much information, and then still so much misinformation and disinformation. Like, I'm like, I, uh, I really actually was kind of leaning after the election. I still find validity in this, just not as like weighted in it anymore. But
Hmm.
like, in being like, damn, like, obviously, Democratic Party needs to like reassess and like figure some other shit out. But like, I was kind of like, oh, we need to like actually not just compromise on some things, but like give up some things, meaning like identity politics was like kind of the big buzzword right after the election was called. And everybody was like, Democrats ran on identity politics. They ran on, like race and uh, LGBTQ issues and pronouns. And I saw so much feedback about how the working class, which I actually think is incredibly important, and we did abandon the working class. There's so many layers to this. I could like go in a million ways, but
Yeah.
that the working class is worried about their groceries. They're worried about the price of eggs. They're worried about like just fucking like taking care of,
Living.
yes, like, and valid, right? Fucking valid. But aren't you? Aren't I? Aren't other people? And we still have this compassion, this expanded awareness where it's like, I don't just care about what happens to me. I also care about other people. So like we have different fucking approaches and priorities and whatever, but I also can't demonize someone who's like, it's just not my world. That like I don't, especially if they're in like a rural place where it's not very diverse, like that. Pronouns don't influence them. They meet people who have never even met a trans person in their life. Like, why
All day.
would they care about trans issues, right? So I'm thinking like initially at least I was like, shit, we're literally going to have to give up like the pronoun conversation. We're going to have to like literally kind of basically throw trans people aside, like not like throw them under the bus, but I mean, stop like proactively advocating for their rights and instead focus more on like the working class issues and the economy and like getting people back into jobs and whatever. So much. I see validity in it, but like now that a little more time has gone on and think more has settled in and I'm a little more rational about things, you really look at it and you're like, okay, wait, but Democrats didn't run on identity politics. Kamala never talked about how she was black or would be the first woman president. Like she would discuss how like there should be equal rights, like equal opportunity, but she didn't talk about pronouns. She wasn't even like it was the right that was literally running on identity politics, but with the like I'm against it perspective. So
Hmm.
identity politics became such a topic, but the left was not talking about this. Like it was not part of her campaign. You literally look at what she was talking about in her rallies, in media interviews. Like it's just crazy to me. And the fact that like their grading scale was so fucking different. Like Trump had no policies. He had no substance. He's talking out his ass. The tariff conversation is insane. It's just insane. And then there's like a clear problem in men, which goes in many ways. I won't like, I swear, go on a huge thing about it, but like at first I was like, go figure. Like Democrats are the ones who are you're more likely to be a Democrat if you have a higher education and if you make more money. Go figure. Like it may to me like makes perfect fucking sense, but that's what also disconnects us from the working class who's struggling in like factory jobs, making an hourly minimum wage, like barely fucking surviving, and they are legitimately worried about the fact that eggs increased from like $3 to $6 or whatever, right? I get it. I fucking get it. But like it's it's just so frustrating because it really does disconnect us. And like the immigration issue, for example, like because Democrats are going to be higher educated and make more money, that means that Democrats as a whole are more of the people who are like in like doctors, lawyers, right? Um, and when you talk about immigration, you don't hear lawyers and doctors worried that an immigrant is coming into the country and stealing their job. It is the working class. It is the minimum wage people. So it is a serious issue for the Republicans because
Yeah.
they're dumber, quite fucking frankly. It's just statistically fucking true. This is not fake news. You're dumber if you're on the right. Not everybody, obviously, but just like as a whole. And you make less money. So, like, these issues that don't matter to the Democrats as much, at least, like, matter to them. And so there was just such a divide. And that's I don't know, for it been really hard for me to grapple with because I'm like, what do we do? And I think like a big thing, like I liked it. I liked Kamala's like, I'm gonna embrace the Republicans approach. I thought it was fucking historic. Like, what a valiant fucking effort to get like what 200 something Republicans to like basically support her. Huge. Like, that's a strategy though. That's an approach. Like, but that shows her bipartisanship, like her ability to work across the aisle. She was saying, I'm gonna have Republicans in my cabinet. She had Liz fucking Cheney of all people. I honestly was like, I mean, damn, that's the approach she's going for. And she's fucking doing it like all the way. We now know that doesn't fucking work because what that did was validate, it moved her more to the right. It totally took the Democratic Party to the right and validated Republican ideals by doing this. So we've now not only abandoned working class people, but also abandoned the fucking progressive left that actually has issues that statistically most of America cares about. Like when you just don't tell people like Trump wants this, Kamala wants this, here are just the issues. Do you agree with this or this? By far and large, it's the progressive, liberal leaning issues that most of America actually is for. So we really lost our most like progressive left-leaning base, which is what like Bernie, like I was always a fucking Bernie bro. I just think we'd be living in such a different country. And actually, like so many people are coming around to that. People who always hated Bernie, so many of them are now like, damn, like we fucked up
We
a
dropped
bit
the
on
bomb.
Bernie. We went to the establishment and like I get it. Like I'm glad we tried. I am because we wouldn't know otherwise. I'm glad we fucking tried the center approach, the reach across the aisle approach, whatever, but it didn't work. It's not working. And so I think on the next go around, we need to fucking veer left. Like I'm dead serious. If the Democratic Party wants to survive, I think we need to re-embrace, not I'm not saying be radical, like blue MAGA style or anything, but like we need to really embrace progressive fucking issues again. Like we really abandoned it.
So the Democrats who didn't vote, I also knew several of them. And that was, granted, I'm in South Carolina, but I was curious as to that reasoning. And that reasoning, it's, they were like, we didn't get a choice. There was no, and I was curious. It was like, why are we not having a Democratic primary? They just selected Joe Biden. And then when everyone was kind of like, hey, you're way too old, like your cognitive abilities are not there. And that was such an egregious, in their opinion, abuse of power that they were like, I don't want to support that. And so, I've been hearing that, a lot of, and a valid point. Like everyone talks about big government, small government. Now, both of these parties are huge governments,
Mhm.
so you have one, like one's taking away rights, one's not. I mean, But it was very interesting to hear that because I was like, that is valid. You just assumed that since Joe Biden had beat him in 2020, that he was going to be the guy to do it again. And Marianne Williamson, I don't know if you saw this, but she had made she had ran obviously and didn't get very far in her campaign, but she came out with a pretty scathing
Yeah.
post. I don't know if you saw it, but it was
Yeah.
pretty brilliant in my opinion
No.
and hit spot on.
Did,
Link it in the show
See,
notes. Link it in the show
yeah,
notes.
I will link in the show notes. You know what else I'm going to link? Is Bernie's fucking statement, which
Oh
was
yeah, please
also
do.
scathing against the Democratic Party. Like, and that's what, like, Marianne, Bernie, and just like seeing more of the like data and stories and whatever kind of settle in, definitely, I think has really made me realize we've tried. We've tried the reach across the aisle approach, the centrist approach, whatever, to make people. We tried. It's just not going to work. We gotta fucking go back to
They're
like.
not. I mean, Marianne Williamson. She was like, obviously, those who are in control of the DNC have not gotten outside of their gated community and talked to anyone, in
Exactly,
real
right?
time, and it's
The doctors and
absolutely
lawyers, dude. The
true. Where it's
No,
like, yes, no. What are you like? You can't take away. You can't say that you're the party of choice and then take away the option of choice, and then
mhm.
expect people to be cool with it and like, hey, we put this person in here. That's valid. I don't have to agree. Like I said, this whole election I just observed, and like I knew. I think it's pretty clear how I sit on things, but
Mhm.
I just was listening to people and I was like, I can see that. I can
Which,
see that. I get it.
yeah, which is so important. The only group that I'm not gonna lie, I will literally will give a pass on, like, you can listen or not, is Black women because they overwhelmingly showed up yet again
Always,
to do their
always.
shit, right? Like, I think that's important, and they're done. They are literally like,
Oh,
we're
I,
fucking disengaging now. Like, we did our job. I hope that they would show up like for the Democratic Party next time there's a vote, but like I don't like they're tired of fucking carrying everything and they're showing what it means to actually be in community. N- there are two other demographics. One that I've seen people talk about is the Jewish demographic. I think the 87% of Jewish people voted for Kamala, which I thought was really interesting. Um,
yeah.
but I guess not because the Palestinian movement like was against Kamala, which I was curious if that would have made a dent. It didn't. It didn't make a dent. That the people who sat out because they were pro-Palestine and they led that uncommitted movement or whatever, they actually ended up being a very small percentage of the population. I was
Well, and they
pissed
then
at their
voted for Jill
rationale.
Stein, which it was
Yeah,
like,
but it wouldn't have mattered. It just wouldn't have
yeah.
mattered at the end of the day. So I'm like, whatever. It's kind of like a non-factor at this point. It's another thing in the mix, but like it's a non-factor for me. But then the other one that like honestly nobody's fucking talking about, and obviously I'm personally offended, is fucking the LGBTQ community. 86% of LGBTQ people voted for Kamala. And not just that, but we also represent the largest demographic that shifted away from Trump. Every other demographic moved toward Trump in larger numbers than before. I think last time in 2020, I think it was 27% of LGBTQ people voted for Trump. Now it's like it was 14%. Like we fucking did our job fucking too. You know what I mean? Like, so just
Hmm.
to say that, everybody, like, yay. Um, I think I don't
I
know.
also
I'm
wonder
like
how many people lied, like, because the thing is that the one thing that the Republican Party has is unity, and the thing is
always.
that Democrats are mean as shit. If you don't do what it's like, you better behave exactly how I want, or you're out of the club. And so then there's this divisiveness, and it's like, like you can't have that. It's not going to get anywhere with. You can't do that, It's
No.
okay. This is the result. Like it's the most hateful inclusive group, where it's like we accept who you are, but you better believe it. What? That's like we're oxymorons. This is jumbo shrimp. You don't get to claim this and then behave like when you don't sign off on every single. And I was talking with my friend Shayna yesterday. And she was her dad was a rabbi. She's Jewish. And so she's been doing the same thing I have been. And we now have been moved into this moderate category by like a lot of our Democratic, and I was like, that is wild to me. Just because I'm willing to have civil conversations with people so I can understand you. I don't think that the hate, please do whatever you want to, guys, as always. But I don't think that hating everybody is going to do us much justice. And so that's what I'm
No,
trying to not
I
encourage. It's so hard. I get why you would cut your nana off or your grandma or your mom or your
know.
dad
Yeah.
if you feel that way and they have voted against you. I get it.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
the
I'm not going to
same
hate on
time,
that
I
person,
can't do that. I can't
but
do that.
I can't either. And I think we're not grappling with, and by we, I mean the leftist like movement. The right is not doing this, right? But like the left is totally fracturing. Like, I mean, it's like a party that I don't even know that it exists now at this state. It's that fractured, seriously. And I'm not going to hate on those people, but I think making those types of decisions or the decision to even disengage, which I will include Black
Hmm.
women on that, I'm definitely not going to fault them of anybody,
Oh,
but like, but
absolutely.
I, we all have to know, and I'm not lecturing Black women, trust me, but like anybody disengaging, cutting people out of their lives or whatever because of all this, what does that mean moving forward? How do you plan to win then moving forward? I'm not saying the approach needs to be let's embrace the fucking Liz Cheneys of the world, who Republicans even fucking hate, right? But like, again, that just proves to me like Kamala did her shit. She did the best she could with that approach. Just was wrong. But we need to like now embrace, re-galvanize our base. There's a reason Bernie had that massive grassroots movement of like the average person donating like what $30 or something like that, and he had like a record number of individual donors, and he was raising record amounts of money just from individual regular working class people, the whole base that we lost. Like, if we take that approach again, we'll make shit happen. But we really need to get there. I'm glad you brought up Marianne because she's such a controversial person. I have always
Hmm.
loved her the
Me
first time she
too.
ran, but it's like I can literally see people rolling their eyes right now listening to this. I get it, but a lot of you are misinformed. Like, she didn't have a great showing. First impressions fucking matter, right? She came off like a fucking kook.
Well, I don't know if they're rolling their eyes. I mean, you're listening to a podcast called Player Annoyance,
Yeah,
so
we have
if you
psychics
know,
on our podcast and shit.
oh
But like she
my
really,
God.
but it wasn't like the stage. Like it was not a great showing.
Yeah.
She had all the crystal ball memes, and shit. But she brought discourse to the national stage that we had never heard, that Biden totally jocked. She was the one talking about the soul of the nation, and now all of a sudden Biden's running on
Yeah.
the soul of the nation and shit. The reparations conversation is only in mainstream conversation because Marianne brought it to that debate stage. Like, and she's done a lot of work. I know that there's like when you look at all the politicians in a row, sure, you can nitpick at Marianne's background. It pales in comparison. And also, a lot of people like hang their hat on that she's anti-vax. No, she's not. You are literally misinformed. Stop believing that propaganda. She has stated this and clarified this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay.
Isn't that so
She,
crazy how like
it's,
just
and
one piece of
Trump's the one, like,
information?
yeah. And it's like, I, it's fucking nuts to me. It's fucking nuts. And like, what the vaccine, say she was anti-vax. She's not gonna like abolish vaccinations. She's gonna be all for you vaccinating yourself and your kids and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like she's really not that bad. I just don't think people were ever gonna be ready for her. But I am so
No.
happy she has come out like very quickly after this
Whoa.
election.
And
Like,
eloquent,
on,
well spoken,
yeah,
calm. I mean, like it was
on Fox, even like people like her. She's fucking intelligent. Like she's fucking good, dude.
because
I've
she's got
always
the
thought.
spirit of the universe behind
Yeah,
her.
no, I've always thought like
Yeah.
she's
You can't be
thinking
doing a
about this
course
in a
in
deeper way.
miracles, okay, and then be a shithead. I will
Yeah.
say, one thing that is and always has been important to me. Obviously, I am a woman. If you know a woman, I'm going to shamelessly please put this in the show notes, but you can get abortion pills by mail. And before anything happens on a national stage where that can't happen, please go to aidaccess.org. They're $150. The shelf life is about 5 years. It's mistoprostone. And I'm pretty sure I was listening to like how they're going to go about um, get it, like banning that without actually doing a federal ban. So if you are so inclined, I highly encourage you to fork out the $150. You can order it if you're a man or a woman, because having abortion as healthcare, having no access to abortion will kill women. Texas is already seeing this. 27,000 women were forced to give birth to their rapist babies,
Mhm.
to incest. Several women have died. That
Yeah,
was the one sticking point with like, and I could cry, but like with the men in my life, I was like, say something happened, like, and
exactly.
the government has to like say that I'm dying enough. Like, I swear to God, I will come back and haunt all you fuckers, like, and I'm not gonna have kids. I track my cycle. Also, get clear on um how to track your cycle. Do not, but do it the old-fashioned way. Like
Hmm.
if you're a man listening to this, download some menstrual apps and just start fucking around with it to fuck data up, because
Hmm.
that's how they're going to track. Yeah. So it's
That's
called
smart.
your menstrual,
Yeah.
your menstrual cycle.
Yeah, and in general, there's like people on TikTok. I'll try to link below. I saw this privacy dude. I actually did. Yeah, I saved. I'm looking at it right now. I saved the link. There's like a guy who's like really into privacy online, and he's like giving really solid tips on, especially for vulnerable populations, aka immigrants, like dead fucking serious, like
Hmm.
immigrants, but also women, LGBTQ people, anybody who's not a fucking straight white person, to be honest. Like, but even if you are, especially if you're a woman, anybody who's not a straight white
Yeah.
man who voted for Trump, you need some like privacy and safety measures, literally because of the trackability of things. Like if Trump has literally threatened the military on United States citizens, nobody is like safe technically from that, right? So you like to make yourself as untrackable as possible. You need to like be prepared for that stuff. Fuck up the data. Love that idea. See, that's some
Yeah.
revolutionary, liberal, progressive ass shit, bitch. Love that idea.
Yeah.
See, that's my shit right there. Love that, bitch. Um, but yeah, otherwise, like just protect yourself as best as you can. Like there's like two things that are really sticking out in my mind. There's so much I want to say about this. Like I'm so serious. And I actually saved all these screenshots for this discussion and I've completely forgot to like bring them back
I
up
mean, let's be clear.
in the
This is going to
discussion.
be that. This is
Yeah,
not
this is the
a
next four
one-off.
fucking year.
Like,
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this idea. We did not start out trying to be a political podcast, but like you can't live a spiritual fucking life and be disengaged from the happenings of the fucking world and the community around you. We need to be plugged the fuck in, which, okay, so one thing that I don't know who said this, but I like will not get it out of my head. It was just somebody on TikTok
mhm.
was saying mutualize your mutuals. I fucking loved that for some reason. This like, I mean, it's just
Oh,
like basically saying like connect the dots, like connect people in your life together because we need
yeah.
fucking community. And it's like the grassroots, we got to rebuild. I'm sorry, the Democratic Party, like I actually seriously think we will be lucky if we are able to rebuild to
And also
to
get
make
involved
a
at a
showing in
local level.
2028.
Do not
That's what I mean.
underestimate a local level, like local is so important. So like
It's that's
get
literally it.
in
It's like,
there.
yeah, mutual aid, like aid is going away. Like it literally fucking is going away. Like the, if he gets rid of the Department of Education, which like that seems like one of
I
those
live in
day
South
one
Carolina.
plans.
We're already like the
And
last. The state does not need to come in and
I
take
know,
over anything when it comes to education.
dude, and no, I know, like, and by yeah, I know,
God.
no, and they're like people. I've seen like some Trump people that I follow. And like, I'm not gonna remove them as my friends, but it's like, I just got back on Instagram and I saw a couple stories of people where I was like, really? You voted for that fucker? God damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever, it happened. But I've seen a couple of them post about the Department of Education thing, and they're spreading misinformation about what the Department of Education actually does, its effectiveness. Like, they're literally spreading lies. Like, they don't know better. That's where the right's dumbness is going to be a fucking problem. We have a problem with that shit. And the media's not helping it. You see the media, like all those news stations are fucking tanking now. Post-election, everybody's disengaging. Nobody's watching the news now. They are tanking and they're preparing for layoffs like right now. So we're going to need to rely on each other and in our immediate environments, mutualize your fucking mutuals, create systems of support, mutual aid. This is literally in the astrology too. Oh, that's one thing, a side note I have to say. Before I say like I have one like kind of really interesting thing that I cannot get out of my head. But the astrology of all this is really pissing me off. I mean, dead fucking serious, dude. Have you seen this shit on TikTok? Like, people
Yeah.
hate astrologers now.
Oh yeah,
Have
I
you
have
seen
seen
that
that.
shit?
Yeah, they're
Because,
like
eh,
astrology girlies.
and not just
Like
astrology, they're like psychics and tarot readers and all that, but like astrologers are getting the brunt of it, I think.
yeah,
And I hate it because it's like, of course, damn, we've like put ourselves into public consciousness in a really big way over the past fucking decade plus now. But this has like rolled a lot back because people get so fucking high and mighty on their predictions, you know? I am owning up to it and taking
yeah.
responsibility where I fucking can right now. And I think my biggest thing that I'm responsible for is I just rested on my laurels from my prediction before Biden dropped out, where I literally predicted that he was going to drop, narrowed it down to the couple days, and he dropped within the time frame. And predicted, I looked at like 16 people's charts, predicted that Kamala would be the replacement and that she had the best fucking chart. And I literally stand firm in that. She has the best astrology. Her astrology, her birth chart, way better than Trump's on election day and inauguration day. Way better energy flowing. And her chart flows better with the United States' chart than Trump's does. Both have plus and minuses, but hers way better. Like it doesn't take much to like fucking have seen that. And a lot of people honestly were doing better than Trump's. Trump's chart is not great right now. That doesn't fucking mean shit though. I was just like, oh good,
Yeah.
I've called all these things. So I just kept being like, yeah, I predicted Kamala's gonna win. So I never re-looked at anything. Anytime there was another political, I don't know, big current event or something, I never looked at the astrology of it. I just had that one prediction this summer and just was like, nope, I
I'm
predicted that Kamala's
good.
gonna win.
Yeah.
I wish I would have tracked it more a little bit, but like I didn't have time. I didn't like it just wasn't on my mind or
I was
whatever.
about to say, you're out here like, busting your balls.
No, true. Yeah. And it's like I'm not a political astrologer and I don't focus on I am good at predictions, but I don't that's a specific type of prediction where you're like really predicting a specific outcome who's going to win a certain thing or whatever. Like I can do some of that stuff and I like it and it's fun when you're right. But like my version of predictions is more like, oh, here's the energetic landscape, right? Like in the future or whatever, and like the potentials that you have. I had to pick a winner. I picked Kamala. Like it's just what it was. Like it had to be a more like final thing in that sense. So whatever, like I was wrong, but this is the nature of any predictive work. The greatest pollster in history, Ann Seltzer, way overshot and predicted Kamala winning Iowa. Like that made massive headlines right before the election. Like she way overshot. Like she was like 16 points wrong. It was insane to think that Iowa was going to turn blue, but that was her track record is fucking killer. She's literally like the best of all time. She was wrong. Nobody's fucking hating on the pollsters. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
and they work with like more legitimate, numbers and shit, but like people are hating on the astrologers. Not just that I care about less. What I actually am fucking pissed about, and I'm still deciding whether or not I need to put together a video on this for TikTok, is the astrologers who predicted Trump. Because they're now coming on TikTok, just like all the annoying TikTok astrologers or practitioners, right, that we always hate. They're being those people because they're literally saying the stupidest shit. Like, if you're following an astrologer who predicted Kamala, like you're following the wrong people. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how astrology works. They're saying that shit. And I'm like, I'm so livid at that fucking rhetoric because that shows how unethical they are as an
Oh,
astrologer. You
absolutely.
have to be comfortable with making wrong predictions. It is a part of the fucking job. And the most credible astrologers I know, like really fucking incredible astrologers, not fucking TikTok astrologers, legit influencers in this field, like teachers, predicted Kamala. Like there were a few that predicted Trump, but like ultimately you can look, there's a whole list that predicted Trump, there's a whole list that predicted Kamala. It was a fucking 50-50 chance at that point. You know what I mean? Just because you picked Kamala, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you were looking at different things. And also, I probably had, when I was making that prediction, it was for Karen Montowski's podcast. I think in total, I saved 60 something birth charts, like different charts to synthesize and examine. It took me fucking forever to come to my prediction, which was good
Yeah.
because I predicted Biden dropping and Kamala replacing him. I fucking did a good job, you know? But like, there would be hundreds if you really want to look at it. We could look at the fucking date that every state was incorporated. You know what I mean? And like look at the state's birth chart. What states are going to go? Like, I mean, there were so I guarantee you anybody who picked Trump was not doing that level of synthesis. Not all these fucking people. So I want to like call them out basically and be like, who the fuck are you to come on this here fucking app and shame other astrologers because they chose Kamala? It is like it was not cut and dry. Clearly. You know what I mean? Clearly, bitch. So I'm pissed about that because it's just like now astrologers are fucking infighting. There's just so much infighting. But even like the MAGA crowd, like there are new MAGA supporters. And I wouldn't even call them MAGA. It's just like there's just so much fracturing going on in this nation right now. At least it was kind of manageable when it felt like, oh, Democrats versus Republicans. Now I'm like, it's a fucking free for all at this point. Like, who the fuck can you trust or rely on? You know, or I don't know. Just fucking nuts. I mean, I got you, bitch. I know that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fucking nuts. I have
I
like
just want
one final like thing to say. I know we're like trying to wrap up here, but like, what else do you have to say? I know I've been like talking forever, but I've been literally ruminating on this and like I'm glued to politics right now.
I think your insight is, valuable, especially as, you're obviously a gay man living in California. Like, I want to say that it's gonna be okay. And the thing is that, so you got to have hope, so it's so easy to be scared and fearful and we don't know what's going to happen, but you never know what's going to happen. And so that's what you have to remember during this time. If consuming media is stressful for you, don't do that. Stay informed, relatively informed, to go to a non-biased Instagram or news site or however you want to get it. But at no point, that's the one thing, is that like hope was like, you lose hope, you're done. Like, so you got to stay present within yourself. The work is not done. You keep doing what you got to do. You show up every day, you be the best person that you can, and you keep hustling and making magic. And that is, no matter who is president, we have one job to do, and that is that. So don't fuck around on that. Don't all of a sudden just give up. Like, we're not quitters, like I don't care who won. I don't care if Ted Nugent became president. What an odd choice for me to just pick off the fly, first off. But like, just keep going, like that's what we have to do here.
I mean, I really hope, especially the people who have really disengaged. Again, I'm swear to God, I am not lecturing Black women on this. This is like really not what I mean. I think like Black women deserve a lot of fucking time and space right now. Like, please, I hope you come back and vote blue next time, please. But like, take your fucking space right now. But like, if you've disengaged and you were someone who was pissed at pro-Palestinian protesters for not voting or for starting that uncommitted movement, right? Like, you cannot now be hypocritical. You cannot disengage to the point where you're now not going to participate. You cannot do that. You were mad at other people for doing this. You were just mad at that. And that sliver of the population, while it influenced things, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of the election. Like, Kamala would not have won if they had voted. Maybe like some, more local appointments would have swung our way or something. But you have to stay engaged. And on that note, I think it's really funny. Like, this is like a weird opinion that I've now developed about this, but I think it's like dire situations call for it. Somebody was like kind of like consoling, people on TikTok and saying like, I don't know, because everybody's freaking out. So somebody had said, it's okay to be afraid. Like, you should let yourself feel that. And that hit me in a way that I thought was like so interesting. And I just keep getting more and more like, I don't know. This is cementing in me more and more right now, where how much I hate fear-based tactics. I don't want to spread fear, but to be afraid is okay right now in the face of something that is legitimately scary. You like feel that fucking feeling, but also if you're not like you and I are fired up. I'm dead. I was vacillating between like serious apathy but also I want to run for mayor of West Hollywood. Like I'm dead serious. Like I was
I
literally
would
like,
love
I'm gonna
that.
run for office. Like I'm that like fucking like amped
Yes.
up. I've been talking to multiple people about it. I don't know actually if that's like the appointment I want to
No.
like run for or something, but I
No.
really mean
It's
like
a full moon
I'm
tomorrow.
that
Let's do it.
yeah. And I'm like I am that engaged, but I was vacillating between
Yeah.
these extremes. And so I'm trying to like let myself feel those extremes and I'll land
Very
where I'm supposed to
Gemini of
land
you.
or whatever. Yeah, right. But like I'll land where I'm supposed to land. But point being is like you and I at least are a little more motivated. I think we can see the hopeful side of things. Like we'll do
Hmm.
that. I think a lot of people though are just scared, but a lot of people are also just disengaging, hands up, just
Hmm.
done, right? And I get it, but I think that the apathy, the detachment from society, it's not where the astrology is going, number one. But number two, I think that's probably the worst fucking thing that we could do is because now you're making yourself uninformed. You are doing
Take a breather.
everything you fucking
Like
hated. Yeah, take a breather, but
put a
also,
time out. That's
yeah,
okay, but come back.
yeah. And that's where I would
It's
say,
your
like,
life. It's your
yeah,
life. Like politics
well,
affect everyone's life.
totally. And I think there's like times where you can be like neutral in certain things, right? But this is not what I mean. Apathy to the point of
Mm,
disengagement, I think
yeah.
it's like literally the worst fucking option right now. And that's where I'm like, that person who said it's okay to be afraid really hit me because I'm realizing literally it's not my preferred method, but how much fear is a galvanizer. So if you need to be a fucking afraid, be a fucking afraid. But then that's a little bit of fucking fuel. You're not disengaging. You still have a little fucking fire in you. There's still something like in you. Be fucking afraid and then use that fucking fear to move.
Fear is incredibly motivating. You have to look at it though. That's the thing. The thing with fear is that if you are running from it, then it grows and then it creates storylines, but it's just snidbits of stories. And then it pairs with emotion, fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, and that creates a hellscape. That is why people avoid fear. But if you can turn around, look at it, then all of a sudden you think you have a T-Rex chasing you down the street. It's just a little baby gecko. Okay. So if you check your fear daily and look at it, I'm self-employed. I've got to be like, okay, I look at numbers. I look at, it's like, okay. And then I show up and get it done. When I procrastinate and avoid doing like, the things that any entrepreneur does not enjoy doing, then what happens? Fear builds, it grows because I'm not checking it. So that's the thing is that every day whether whatever is happening in your life, you get up and you look your fear straight in the face. And that's going to be the
Mm,
game changer where then it is motivating. And then sometimes when you make friends with your fear, it's over. You can do
yeah.
anything.
Exactly, dude. No, exactly. Like I don't know. I think there's something to that. Like if there's ever a time where I'm like, yep, let's use fucking fear, it's now because there is an actual existential, very fucking serious,
Yeah.
scary in many ways for many people threat happening. Be afraid. If that's what you need to do, if you can't be hopeful, if you can't be solutions oriented, if you can't be plugged in, whatever, if all you're doing right now is disengaging, then be afraid. Be afraid rather than be apathetic and disengaged. I think that's
Mhm.
the smarter, healthier decision because it will go somewhere else. Like you said, though, it needs to be like directed in the right way. Otherwise, you become MAGA. You're afraid and then swayed with the little bits of the stories and getting misinformation. And now you've developed a whole narrative that doesn't fucking exist in this goddamn country. And you become dumb like MAGA. You become fucking dumb. Quite frankly, their lack of media literacy is insane. They cannot. We need to dumb down our language too. That's the other thing I definitely learned. Our intelligence has gotten the best of us. We need to start speaking in like
Well, then I'm
bigger
going to send everyone a
platitudes.
dictionary or a thesaurus, or I'm going to start doing a once a day. And I also add vowels to everything. So, everybody, you can. Yeah, let me tell you something. I was so stressed out yesterday or 2 days ago, that I was looking at the word. I couldn't say volcano. I was like volcano. It was like I was sounding out, and I was like, "This is right. Why am I having this disconnect? Why can I not say volcano?" And my mom was like, "Are you?" I was like, "Volcano." It was like a toddler, like a first grader, sounding it out, like volcano. And I was like,
Do you know what's so funny? I literally thought of you this morning because I've like a couple months ago or whatever re-downloaded CoStar just because like everybody I know fucking uses it. So I was like, what like what's it like now? Because I hadn't had it for like a couple years. And I hate it. Like it never actually relates to me as stupid contradictory. I fucking hate
It's
it
very
still.
negative.
But it's very negative and it's just like, it's not helpful. There's like very little
Yeah.
solutions here. It's very contradictory. But the one thing I do like is like every day there's like that little like,
Blurb.
daily update where it's like the do's and the don'ts and like some like headline or whatever. My
Yeah.
headline today, I don't know if you can read this, it'll probably be backwards, but it says mispronounce words, see what happens. The second I saw that, I was like, yes, I'm recording with Megan today. Tarot. Like, how you like, I'm not even joking. I literally thought of you. So I'm loving that you just brought up like mispronounced words. It's perfect.
A little
Fucking
extra.
perfect.
Listen, vowels are what makes the world like words happy. So feel free to add an extra one in, maybe elongate a sound. Why not? Hit them with the old razzle dazzle. Find joy where you can. Add a vowel.
Yeah, I love it. Add a vowel. If you're afraid, scream with extra vowels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ah!
Oh,
Ah!
I hate you.
Ah! I don't know. Yeah, blend them together. Who knows? I don't know. We're in a space of like, we're gonna do a 2025 astrology preview because there's serious.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the astrology of
Ooh.
2025. It's some wild shit, big shit, totally different than anything we've had in our lives thus far. I'm very excited for where things are going to go. But I'm only saying that to just say like what you're thinking and feeling right now it's not going to stick. Trump is a fucking annoying person. He's in this fucking position. I'm trying to just think like best case scenario is he just plays a bunch of golf again, and nothing really
best that
fucking
could
moves
happen.
forward again.
What's
Yeah.
the best that could happen?
Right? Like exactly. I mean, I'll
Maybe
leave
he
those thoughts
becomes
to myself.
maybe he becomes rational.
Right. No, true. Well, that would be nuts. That would be fucking nuts. I actually think because he's been appointing people that are like taking House seats away from the Republicans, I literally am kind of like on the conspiracy lane of like, he doesn't want Republicans to own everything. He wants Democrats to have something like the House. So nothing actually gets passed. I don't think he wants to do anything. I think he wanted the appointment so he can avoid jail and just golf for the next 4 years and then have like another
I'll pay for that.
4 years of fucking nothing going on, right?
You want to
But also,
play golf and
yeah,
just like leave our rights
please
alone?
leave our rights as is.
I'll pay for your golf, buddy.
Yeah. Because I'm not disillusioned either. I didn't expect a lot of progress with Kamala. I just expected another 4 years of status quo, which is not my
mediocrity. I'm just,
yeah, like
that's
but
honestly what I expect from any government official is mediocre at best.
I didn't expect it from Bernie though, and to be
No,
honest, I didn't expect it
Bernie
from
is-
Marianne either. I didn't expect it from Marianne either. But I
Go
just
check
think
their Facebooks out, or their Facebooks, their
Yeah.
Instagrams.
We need to get out of this fucking binary system and mindset. Like there are other people with very different perspectives that are progressive and good for everybody. Like good fucking God. Marianne wants to start a department of children. Like that's insane. Other countries have that. Why don't we? We're just gutting, whatever. We are going to be okay. And a lot of other things are going to come into the picture. The last other quick thing I'll say too is yesterday, Congress had another alien hearing. I'm only saying that, we'll talk about alien shit later, but like, I'm only saying that because it's also set into me that I'm like, shit, dude, what if alien contact happens next year? Think of the ways that will completely fundamentally alter society and derail any plan that any politician has right now. Everything that we think is a potential to happen could not happen because something like that might happen. Do you know what I mean? I'm not being a conspiracy theorist or
and you never
totally
know
predicting
what
that either.
Earth is in the stratosphere for the universe.
Right?
Like what if like we don't know our what main players we are, and if we start getting out of hand, the aliens might be like, you know what? This is where we vacation. This is where we drop things off. We're gonna have to Men in Black y'all. Okay, we're gonna have to. We've let y'all do your own thing for the past bazillions of years and not been working out. We even tried to mate with you. That didn't work. This free will thing. So let's figure it out. I mean, who knows? I'm open. I'm open for contact, but not penetration. Thank you. I don't want alien sex. Like I gotta I know myself. I have to get to know someone. Okay. Like I'm a lady. So
That's
if
true.
so
No, same. Like same.
yeah,
It's like nice
yeah,
to
yeah.
like who are
We have to
you?
emote. We have to emotionally connect. If we talk via thoughts, it's also a human. It's a trash can up there, guys. So don't judge me based. If we're talking telepathy, let me know so I can clear my mind. Yeah. If you want to get to second base,
There are thoughts in your head that are filtered.
no, never. I would have to
I was
so
gonna
try.
say, I don't know that is
I'm God no.
I
I'm
can't tell
I'm
them.
yeah. I yesterday I was supposed to go to this birthday party, and my friend Chris was like, "Why don't you just like it's late, like you're not gonna go?" And I was like, "No, I can't tell myself like no though, because if I tell myself no, if anyone tells me no, I hate no. So then I will then go out of spite to myself. So I just have to like pretend that I might go." And consequently made the birthday girl very mad, which I gotta make an apology to. Oh, life. Anyway, we love you guys.
Yeah, we love you all very much. Thanks for hanging in there. I swear we're not just turning into a political podcast, but like
We
we
don't,
had to
but
debrief
we're
on this.
evolve. Yeah, we can evolve into anything, but
We
we're
can.
still listen. You just listen to a numerology podcast. You guys are fine.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
fine. You're
Exactly.
fine. We're all
And we have
fine.
so many bonkers, crazy spiritual topics literally coming your way. Like so serious. So
Bingo, bingo,
stay
baby.
tuned. Stay
All
tuned.
right.
Book
Love you.
Megan if your mindset's not right. Fucking hit up
Yeah.
Megan.
Hit me
Book
up.
me if you want to know what 2025 holds for you. Get
meganlund.com. You can send me an email and we will get you nice, right, and tight, baby.
love it. Love it. It linked below. Everything's linked below. Grab Bismos. More to come on everything. We're
Yeah.
rounding out the year, dude. I'm ready.
Woo!
Let's bring it. Bring it on, 2025.
Love you. Bye.